Disclaimer, I am an idiot. I do not know the French language. I can't pronounce shit. Not even gonna try. But grab your favorite pair of headphones and let's dig into this. Oh boy, it's gonna be a bumpy ride. Alright, so yeah, for today's Headphone Hideaway, we're talking about the one and only Gojira and their album from 2012,
L'Enfant Sauvage.
Not even going to try to pronounce it. I can't say it, and I apologize again. But music is a universal language, and you don't need to know how to pronounce the name of this album to enjoy it in the way that I enjoy it. This album is a phenomenal body of work, quite an artistic statement in the realm of heavy metal from the past decade, which, as time moves forward and keeps going, it becomes harder and harder, I think, to really be a band that is able to craft your own voice in the realm of heavy metal without, really digging into too many other genres. There are plenty of bands that are doing some pretty cutting edge stuff in heavy metal, but normally they're bringing stuff in from outside, putting other things in the pot that you wouldn't expect and creating something new, which I think is fucking great. As obviously, if you watch the show at all and all the music that I listen to and I like to talk about, I like diversity. I like a diverse band. But the thing that I think is really cool about Gojira is that they've been able to develop their own sound that is unquestionably unique. There's not another band that sounds like Gojira. Nobody really sounded like them beforehand, and everything about them is so nuanced. It's their thing. It's fucking Gojira. But they've been able to do it without introducing stuff from outside of the normal realms of metal or rock. There is no, abrasive electronics. There's no weird hip hop beats or anything like that, which nothing against anybody that does any of that stuff. I love diversity in heavy metal and I love challenging the status quo, but I think it's really cool to come across an album like this that just does not challenge the status quo, does not try to be different, isn't beating you over the head with its uniqueness, but is still an incredibly powerful statement, especially over the past decade, and just unapologetically Gojira. This album fucking rips. If you've never listened to it or this band, I really I was super late to the Gojira party. They were a band that people had been listening to around me for years, and I had seen them live plenty of times. Every time I would see them live, I would be like, man, this fucking band rips. And then I would try to go home and listen to an album, and it just never clicked. And then I would be in a car with some people and they would have it on. I'd be like, what the fuck is this? Is this Gojira? Because they have that unique sound. And they'd be like, yeah, it's fucking Gojira. I'd be like, god damn, this sounds good. I gotta fucking listen to this. And then I would try to go back and listen to it again. And for whatever reason, it just never clicked. But recently, in the past year, I would say, I finally buckled down one night because I saw somebody share a goddamn video on Facebook of them playing live, and I watched the song and I was like, man, this fucking song rips. What album is this song on? And the song that I am talking about was the title track from this album. So I finally went in and listened to this album from start to finish that night, and it clicked. And ever since, I have been on the Gojira train hard as fuck. It took some time for it to click, but that's the interesting thing about music. I always knew that I liked this band. It just wasn't time and place plays such a weird thing with me in music, and I don't think that's probably incredibly unique. I'm sure everybody has a certain time and place that they like to listen to different styles of music, and for things like this, while it is not incredibly complex or dense or something that you really have to wrap your head around, there's a nuance that is so unique about it that if you're not ready to quite tune in, it can sound surprisingly generic, which is really strange. And I think that was the hurdle that I had to get over for some time when I was trying to listen to Gojira's studio albums in a personal setting, because you see them live, it's super loud. You're seeing them actually play. You hear the intensity and everything of it. It's like this really visceral thing. And I'm not saying that that stuff doesn't translate to the albums, because it does, but there's like a really specific nuance and a place, at least for me, in my brain where I have to be when I'm listening to this band to really like be like, oh, like I need to allow myself to get lost in this groove, in this trance, in this thing that is Gojira. You know, it's really similar to a Meshuggah or a Tool. Those are two bands, if any, that I would probably compare Gojira to. I mean, they're not obviously as like, you know, mathematical or like polyrhythm heavy as like those bands can be at times, but there is like a certain trance like state. There's like this overall vibe, this patience that is required, I think, to really dig into bands like that and bands like Gojira, that if you're not willing to be patient and really like analyze and sit down and like chew on it, I don't think you fully get it. But once you're able to take that time, at least for me, once I was able to take that time to like really sit down and chew on fucking Gojira and like really let the flavor sit in my mouth, swirl it around, and all these other things that I could say to make it sound even weirder, but I won't. Once I was able to do that, I really just couldn't stop. And ever since, Gojira is a band that I've introduced pretty, you know, frequently into my regular listening schedule, particularly this album. So if you're somebody like me who has maybe seen Gojira live and been like, yo, that band rips, but never took the time to dig into it, or maybe you just never really took the time to listen to them at all, but you're curious, I would give this a fucking listen. I would definitely also recommend it for anybody that is like an artist, or if you have a long car ride, or maybe you work on cars, or you do something, tattooing, I don't know, something where you want to zone out for like a good hour. But I mean, you shouldn't zone out when you're driving, but you know what I mean, something nice to have in the background and just kind of focus on the thing you're doing. This is a really good focus and get shit done type of album. And yeah, it's fucking heavy, it's fucking really pretty, it's really unique, and it's a great addition to the lexicon of heavy metal. It's a great blessing to have a band like Gojira out and about doing the damn thing these days. I feel that the world is a much better place with Gojira, and if Gojira is not in your life and you are a fan of heavy metal, I think they should be. But if not, that's okay. I should probably dedicate some time to learning how to pronounce the name of this album, so I'm gonna go do that. And until the next time, my friends, take care of yourselves. Take care of the people around you. Don't forget to buy anybody presents for the holiday that deserve them. And yes, I hope all of your dreams and wishes come true. I hope all of your wishes and dreams come true. Goodbye.